Topic 7, similarity and ratios. Informally, similarity is known when two figures are similar if they have the same shape but are not necessarily the same size. So we have two pictures here of cars, and this one on the right gets smaller, but it is still similar because the shape of it has not changed. When we look at these rectangles, the side of the bigger rectangle is 6 and 8. And the smaller one is 3 and 4. And so these are similar because the smaller rectangle is half the size of the larger one. If we're going from small to large, 2 to 6 and 3 to 9, that means that the height and width of the larger rectangle are 3 times the size. We won't go from 2 to 4 and 5 to 7. 2 to 4 is double, but 5 to 7 is not double, so these are not considered similar. How do these relate to the area? Well, the area of the bigger rectangle is 48 units and the smaller rectangle is 12 units. If we write those as looking at the sides, remember that the rectangle on the left is half, or when we go from left to right, the right one is half the size and the area is a quarter of the size. So 12 to 48 is 1/4. And remember, area is squared, so 1/2 squared is also 1/4. Similarly, we went from tripling the size of our rectangle here, and 6 to 54 is 9 times larger. 54 over 6 is 9, and that is the same as 3 squared. Because the bottom one is not similar, there is no relationship between the areas. So let's look at ratios and proportions now. So Amy is making punch for a party, and the recipe calls for 2 liters of lemon lime soda for every 3 liters of juice. So the ratio of soda to juice is called 2 to 3, or 2:3, or we can write it as a fraction 2 over 3. The flip side of that is if the ratio of juice to soda is now 3 to 2, 3:2, or 3 over 2. And we can use this by the recipe calls for those 2 liters lemon lime soda and 3 liters of juice. What happens if we triple that? Well, if our ratio remains 2 to 3, so tripling that means 2 times 3 is 6 liters of soda, and 3 times 3 is 9 liters of juice, or we can look at it in terms of a fractional increase. What happens if we want to make half the punch? So now we're going to take, instead of 2, now we have 1 liter. Instead of 3, we have 1/2. Again, as a fraction, we can write it as this.